HS3. So the objective, by the end of the lesson, people will be able to explain what is meant by computer network, state some characteristics of computer network, list at least 5 network devices, identify network type when shown the diagram of it, and then state one advantage of computer network. Now let's move on. When we talk of computer networking, it's a group of computers which are connected to each other for the purpose of sharing their resources. That's the phase 1, and then you can see the diagram here being displayed as computer being connected. Now let's look at the characteristics of computer network. When we talk of sharing resources from one computer to another computer over a network, that's what we mean by sharing resources. When a computer takes information from one computer and is able to send it to the other, or take information from other computer, that's the sharing of resources. Then when we talk of the performance by measuring the speed of data transmitted with the number of users, that's the connectivity and the software used. And then reliability makes easy. That reliability, we say it makes it easy to use an alternative source for data communication in case of hardware failure or connectivity issue. Scalability, increase the system performance by adding more processors. And then security is the main characteristics of computer network, where you can take necessary steps for protecting your data from unauthorized access. Now let's look at the network devices. So when we talk of network devices, they are components used to connect computers as well as other electrical devices together in order to share resources such as printer and fax machine. So looking at the list of devices, we have hub, switch, router, bridges, gateway, modem, and repeaters. These are just a few. Then when we talk of hub, this is how hub looks like, and it's a small rectangular box that joins computers together through ports on the back of the hub. And then when you look at the diagram, this is how hub is being used to connect computers. Now let's look at the switch. When we talk of switch looks like, or it looks similar to hubs in a way that it's also a rectangular, and it also had a port at the back, and it's manageable. Manageable switches are usually a little bigger than unmanageable switches. So switch also has port at the back, but the main difference is switch is more intelligent than hub. So this is the diagram of switch being used in networking. Then let's go to a router. We say it's a specialized computer program to interface between different networks. So that's the picture you are seeing here, and this is how it's being used. Now let's look at the bridges. When we talk of bridges, or a bridge, a hardware device used to create a connection between two separate computer networks, or to divide one network into two, and then it filters data traffic at the network boundary and reduces the amount of traffic on a LAN, dividing it into two segments. So that's it, and this is how it's being used if you see the image. Now let's go to gateway. So a communication device that provides a remote network with connectivity to the host network. That's it there. You can see the image, and this is how it's being used. Now let's go to modem. When we talk of modem, it's a modulator demodulator. That's the meaning. So it's a hardware component that allows a computer or another device, such as a router or switch, to connect to the internet. It converts or modulates an analog signal from a telephone or cable wire to digital data. That's first and OS that a computer can recognize. So this is how it's being used. Now let's go to repeater. A Wi-Fi repeater or extender or booster is a device that forwards wireless signal from one router to cover a large area, such as a multiple floor of a house. So repeaters are used to extend transmission so that the signal can cover longer distance or be received on the other side of an instruction. Okay, now let's look at the type of network. When we talk of network type, we have PAN, that's personal area network, and it's normally used to connect simple devices like mobile phone, laptop, and the rest. So these are a small network which normally used in the house to cover or 33 to 10 meters within a range of an individual or personally using some form of wireless technology. So this is the diagram of how it's being used. Now we can go to another one called LAN, that's a local area network. It consists of a series of computers linked together to form a network in a circumscribed location, and this is for the purpose of sharing information, and it can also use Wi-Fi to do that. Looking at the image, that's how it's being done. And then we can also talk of MAN, that's a metropolitan area network. The metropolitan area network is designed to be used in a city or town through the wireless medium or using optical fiber cables or fiber optic cables. So the network size of MAN falls between LAN and WAN, which initially cover a range of 5 to 50 kilometer diameter. So this is the diagram you are seeing here. Then we talk of WAN, that's a wide area network. It is a computer network type that helps to connect the computers placed on other countries or cities through telephone lines, radio waves, or other communication links. It has no fixed range, very expensive, and is used by big organizations for their business purposes. So this is the image as well. Now let's look at advantages. We talk about advantage, we say file sharing, resource sharing, inexpensive setup, flexible handling, and then increase storage capacity. Looking at the disadvantage, when we talk of the security concern, one of the major drawback of computer network is the security issue that are involved. If a computer is a standalone computer, physical access become necessary for any kind of data theft. However, if a computer is on a network, a hacker can get unauthorized access by using a different tool. We have virus and malware is also another problem which we can talk of, and then lack of robustness needs an efficient handler, meaning you need a skilled person to handle it. Lack of independence, meaning when you send information it can pass through somewhere and somebody can see it. Now in a summary, we can say WAN is the biggest, MAN enter into it, and then LAN, so the PAN is the smaller. So that's the picture you are seeing on the screen. Now let's go to a small quiz, and to do the quiz you have 1 minute 30 seconds to answer it. So let's look at computers. First question says computers which are connected to each other for the purpose of sharing their resources are known as. So looking at this, we can say it's what? Computer network. Then you submit. And we move on to the next one. Switches look similar to hubs, but the differences, as we said in the presentation, we said switches are more intelligent than hub. It's also answered here. So make one wrong and see how we will get the response from the system. So we say, what is modulator demodulator? Is the answer, let's pick wrong answer and see. Yeah, that's the feedback you get if you get it wrong. And the repeaters are used to extend transmission so that the signal can cover longer distance. It's true. So if question, we say the following are network type except BAN. Then we submit. View our results is on the screen. Thank you for your patience, and you can see the score 80% point, by your pass mark you need is what? 60. So you've done well.